Hi there, it's me, it's Mike. I'm back for another Star Wars review. I am just doing my best to crank these out. Not as fast as possible, but I've been in a mood. I want to talk about toys. I do have a podcast if you want to hear me talk more about toys. It's Black Series Cantina. We do it every other week. It's fun. But anyways, that's not what I am making a video on. I just wanted to tell you about it. No, today I'm talking about this. This is the Mace Windu clone pack, the 187th. This is the Clones of the Republic pack. It is one of two packs that I've gotten this year and I haven't talked about yet. So I wanted to talk about it. Let's talk about it. And then once I get this and the other pack done, I'll have talked about every Black Series figure I've gotten this year. Where do I go from there? I don't know. Let's find out. So here we have the box for the first ever Clones of the Republic line. I don't know if this is going to be the same format for every release we get. The first one, as you can see, is a Mace Windu and then a 187th Legion Clone Trooper. Now, the box style is unique, and it's very likely this is the only box we're going to get like this. It is one of the it's a trapezoid, I guess. It's a trapezoid where it has two slanted sides. So on this side, we have the 187th. On this side, we have the Mace Windu. On the back, it is numbered. So, I mean, they don't usually number things unless they plan on continuing it. And I know we do have another one planned, I'm pretty sure is slated in the pipeline for Clones of the Republic. I know it's coming out. It's in the pipeline. It's the General Grievous, the comic version, and then a Yoda, a prequels Yoda. Hi there, it's Future Editing Mike. I recorded this video last night, the night of the 2nd. On the 3rd, they did something I honestly didn't expect them to do, and that is announce the next Clones of the Republic. It's in the same packaging. It has a Revenge of the Sith Yoda and a comic Gree, and I love it. Now, later in this video, I'm going to talk about how much I hope future versions are going to have the 3.0 clone mold. And if you don't know what that means, it will make sense later in the video. It does. I'm super excited. This is what it looks like. Hasbro nailed it. If you want to know more about this, on my latest episode of Black Series Cantina, my co-host Zach and I will be talking about it. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it briefly because it was a surprise that they talked about it. I'm like, I can't make a Clones of the Republic review without talking about the next one coming out. So I chose now. Anyways, bye. Anyways, let's take a look at the back real quick. It says, during the Clone Wars, clone troopers formed the backbone of the Republic's new military that battled the Confederacy of Independent Systems. As the war intensified, Jedi Master Mace Windu sensed the dark side of the Force at work and knew the Jedi's enemies were plotting to destroy the Order. Very generic, but, I mean, factual. So that's what it's supposed to be. And as you can see here, what I love about this, first and foremost, is we get a Mace Windu that's in the style of the animated Clone Wars, which I love. This will be our third Mace Windu in the line, which of course we'll take a look at. But then also we're getting the 187th clone. Now this is our second 187th, but this one is colored differently, and we'll get into that. But before we do, let's go ahead and get these out of the box. So here we have both figures out of the box. We have the Mace Windu and the 187th. Let's start off with the Mace Windu, just because I feel like we can get through this pretty quickly. I've reviewed this figure essentially before when it was first released back in, 2018? I believe it was, maybe 2019, but I'm pretty sure it was 2018. Largely, it's the exact same figure. This is just the base Mace Windu body, but he does have new lower forearms that match what he was wearing in the Clone Wars cartoon. Just notice that he also has fingerless gloves. Is that what Mace has in the cartoon? Does he have fingerless gloves?
Run for it! They're turning the bridge off!
Huh. He does have fingerless gloves. Mace doesn't come with an awful lot. He comes with his lightsaber. Now, the lightsaber isn't anything new. We've had this exact lightsaber before. In fact, this is a lightsaber that came with the second Mace Windu, the Clone Wars 2003 version. You could tell because it has this little nubbin added that wasn't on the original. But I just want to point out that purple is my favorite color. Growing up, I thought it was blue, but every time I'm like, I like that color blue, everyone's like, no, I'm like, that's purple. And that's just the plight of a colorblind person. I just want to point out that there's a lot of great paint on here. Blacks, gold, silver. Nothing is not painted. I love that a lot. The only problem I have with this, and this is the same problem I had with the very first Mace Windu, is that he has no place to put it. And what's made it worse is that since this is the same lightsaber that came with the second Mace Windu that does have a place to put it, it's teasing me. It's like, hey, you could put something here if you wanted to. And you might look here. I've actually tried to make a little, I've gouged this out with a little kind of hobby knife, trying to dig into it, but I decided that I didn't like doing that because I felt like it was just going to harm the rubber. But I've seen people sort of drill into it so that they could put this in there and it looks good. So I might still do that in the future, mostly just because on my shelves, I display my Jedi with their lightsabers stowed away because I do live in California and there are earthquakes here, and I've lost a couple of lightsaber blades to shelf dives and falls from various reasons. So storing them with the lightsaber blade away, for me, makes sense. And then if I do that, then that little blemish is gone because that will plug in right there. But just moving up, I'm very sure that this is the exact same likeness that we had before on the old Mace Windu, but I do believe that he's a little bit lighter colored. You can see we have the exact same body, like the whole torso overlay is the same, I guess. And yeah, I do believe that the head is the same. You know what? Now that I'm playing it back here, I think that they are different sculpts. The chin, the neck part of the chin looks different, and the top of the dome head looks different. Now that I get a closer look on video, even my eyeballs can't see it, but on video, they look different now. What do you think? I think the paint apps are a little bit different, but this has always been an incredible Samuel L. Jackson likeness. This one does not come with a robe because he doesn't ever really wear one in the Clone Wars cartoon, whereas the original one did because it feels like he always wears one in the movies here. So that makes sense. You can see down here, they are largely the same. The boots are a little bit differently colored to me. These are a little bit lighter than these. And then, like I said earlier, the forearms are obviously different because he has the full forearms, whereas he has a little Republic gauntlet. And it does have the Jedi symbol, which I really, really like. What's cool about this for me is that there's a spot on my shelf for both of these. I try not to double up on figures unless I really, really like them. But being as that this is from Clone Wars, the animated one, and this is mostly from like the movies, I have a spot for both of those, and there's room right now, at least, for both of them. So I can display these on my shelf, no problem. The one I'm having trouble with, though, is this one. I know this is probably going to annoy a lot of people, and I actually haven't talked about this one on my channel yet, at least not in a video. This is the 2003 Walmart exclusive Mace Windu, and he's largely the same, except for he does have the added arm pieces here. Down here, we have the new forearms, and they're not even the same forearms as this one. These are different forearms. He does have much lighter colored boots. It's not even close to being different. And then he has this Clone Wars belt, a Clone Trooper belt. And that's where we have the option of stowing this lightsaber because it plugs right into a hole that comes on the belt, because I'm pretty sure they reused this belt from the General Obi-Wan. So this goes really well with that General Obi-Wan, the Walgreens exclusive one. And that is one of my least favorite figures. This one also has, as you can see, a much shinier gloss finish on there, which makes it look like he has a shiny, kind of sweaty head. So this one, unfortunately, is going to get put away. It's not going to be on my shelves. This one is going to hang out on my shelves with Obi-Wan here, which is my favorite Obi-Wan of all the Obi-Wans. And of course, Anakin. And then I do have the Clone Wars, the older Clone Wars, the season 7 Clone Wars, Ahsoka with them. I have the Padawan Ahsoka with my movie episode 2 figures for some reason. And he hangs out on the shelf with these guys. But I'm not going to show them off together because that's just getting in too many figures. At some point, I'm just going to be showing all my figures on screen and how they connect. It's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but Black Series figures. I am going to pop this on because he can hold his lightsaber. Why not? Like I said, I do wish that he had a way of stowing it. It kind of is a bummer because look how good these look. This Obi-Wan looks great with his lightsaber on the belt. This Anakin looks great with his lightsaber on his belt. I just wish that we had an option like that for this mace because I really do like the way this mace looks. This is a great looking Mace Windu. I think he would look better if he could put his lightsaber on his belt. And it's ridiculous. It bugs me way more than it should. It really shouldn't bother me as much as it does. The fact that he could have it. The lightsaber allows it. It's just that they use the exact same waist piece as they did from the original release that doesn't have a spot for it. It was one of the main issues I had in my review with the original figure is that he didn't have that. And I thought by now they could easily fix it. Just add a little hole, not a big deal. But no, they didn't do that. Anyway, so that's Mace Windu. There's not a lot to talk about him. Like I said, I've already done a review on him. If you want to see like how he moves and stuff, go watch that review. That's a lot more in-depth anyways. Next, what we're going to go over is the 187. Now, back in the day, Kenner was just sort of making stuff up. And they made a 187th, which at the time was actually, it was a battalion that I don't think existed. And they gave it this sort of purple color. And then Lego used it. So for a long time, this was the 187th color. Like if you asked any casual fan, even non-casual fan, what the 187th color is, they're going to say purple. And then the 2008, the CGI Clone Wars, even though it wasn't in 2008 when these guys debuted, it was, I think in season 5, maybe even season 6 or 7. I don't really remember, but this was what we saw on screen, this more kind of maroonish brown. This is the 187th Clone Deco, the canon one. This is not canon, but I'm glad that Hasbro's made both, mostly because the main problem I have with this is this off-white color. It sucks. And then also, as I said earlier, my favorite color happens to be purple. So I love these. I love this figure color-wise. This one can still have a spot on my shelves for now. I actually haven't done a review on it. But here's the thing. You can take this review for this and just apply it to any Clone Trooper. Because what this is right here is the 2020 Clone Trooper mold. And that sucks. This is the second Clone Trooper mold they made. It was updated. It was really cool when it came out, although a lot of people had problems with it. Just recently, at the middle of last year, Hasbro updated it with this new mold, this new body style right here. This is the 3.0. And while the differences are subtle, they are there. And it's just one of those things that, like, in hand, it's night and day. The legs are thicker. This one has kind of skinnier legs. You can see that the legs, thighs kind of flare out a little more. This one has an upper bicep swivel. The top is actually an overlay as opposed to this, which is a sculpted chest. And the difference is that it gives it a much greater range of movement and a more realistic looking silhouette. They fixed the helmet, so I think the helmet looks a lot better. One other thing they did with this 3.0 body is that they actually made the helmets removable and painted the heads underneath. Now, before, every phase 2 or every 2.0 Clone Trooper had a face underneath, but it was white and unpainted. I mean, all of them, but they didn't paint any of them until they got to the 3.0 mold. And then they painted this one, which is so, it's so weird, which is one of the reasons why this one is going to stay in my collection a lot longer. Now, mine has like a little scar on here. I don't know if that's something that all of them have or if mine just has a blemish on it. But mine has like looks like a scar here. But you know what? Hold on. This one does too, now that I look at it. So maybe it's supposed to. This one definitely has it. This one also has like a weird 5 o'clock shadow where it's darker here than up here. And that kind of bugs me. So I don't ever, I don't ever display these. And even the eyes on these 3.0 ones, it doesn't look great. Like it looks like it's pre-digital face printing. But all of that just to say that it took them to 3.0 to paint the heads. And now that they've done that, we have one 2.0 body that they painted the head for, which is just interesting. Another fun fact, it doesn't appear that Gree has a removable helmet. Even though we know what his face and head looks like, it's pretty unique. But it doesn't look like this one is going to have it. And this was the mold I liked for a while. I don't really have anything wrong with this mold per se, but once they gave us this mold, I like it so much better that it kind of kills this one for me. I don't like getting a new figure on a body that I already feel is outdated. If this had come out last year or the year before, it wouldn't bother me. But we had, at this point, we already have this mold. This is already something we have. And it's like, and Hasbro's like, here, have this old thing. And again, it's not bad. It's just not as good, which makes it bad, kind of. Anyways, I don't want to complain about it too much, but it is one of the issues I have with the set is by now it really should have been on the newer mold, and it's a little ridiculous that it's not. So what does he come with? I mean, he comes with normal Clone Trooper stuff. He has this smaller, this a DC, I think 15 or 17. I should have looked it up. I can never remember the numbers. I think the 15 is this one, and the 17 is a smaller one, the little handheld pistols. So it comes with a regular blaster and then the blaster rifle. So the carbine, I think both of these are the same number. It's just that this one is the rifle version. So you can choose to whichever one you want. You can put both of them in each hand if you want to. On my shelves, I do like to shake it up with the larger ones sometimes, but it's just a lot easier, especially when the shelves are a little bit more packed, like my Clone Trooper shelf is, to put the smaller one on there because it takes less room. I do think that he has a good range of motion movement. It was one of the first to have this kind of newer knee system that they've been doing. It's not super new, but they standardized it, I guess. But one of the problems they had was they glued these knee pads in, so it's always up high as opposed to being like here or down here. Whereas on the newer mold, this is not glued down, so it slides up and down as you want to, which just makes it easier. They do have a newer arm bend as well, much easier than the first one. The first Clone Trooper mold, and then subsequently anything that used it, such as the Purge Troopers, and then also that first, the General Obi-Wan, the one that I said was the worst and the figure I hated, they all used that body. The original Clone Trooper body is garbage, awful. This one is a lot better, but it's not as good as the new one. So you get where I'm coming from on this. I wish this were the newer one. It doesn't make sense that it's not the newer one, but it's not. And it's still going to be on my shelf for a while until my shelves get too full and I have to make some difficult choices. But I will say this one will probably stay on longer than this one if I do have to start making difficult choices. This one was a Walgreens, I believe Walgreens Trooper. Are exclusive. These are Hasbro Pulse and Shop Disney exclusives. So that means if you want one of these, you either have to get lucky on Hasbro Pulse. That's where I got these from. And so far, I believe that's the only time that they've been in stock is 2 or 3 times on Hasbro Pulse. They do retail for $45, which is good considering the retail price for standard figures now is $25. So you're paying less than retail price for 2 figures, which is the way 2 packs like this should be, especially since they're both pretty much reused. They will eventually be on Shop Disney's website and then also in the Disney theme parks. So I'm assuming that's probably going to happen soon with May the 4th coming out. It wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see a lot of stuff like that. So if you haven't gotten one of these, don't fret. They're going to be available. They've only been released from Hasbro Pulse, and it will be available from Shop Disney and again in parks and stuff. So just kind of hold your horses. Although I'm going to be honest, I don't love this set. If this had come out a year ago, I would have been absolutely stoked. The lightsaber thing still would have bugged me. And of the two, Mace Windu is going to be on my shelf for a while, probably. But this one, I feel like already has a countdown until I remove it from my shelf. I already removed all the old molds on the shelf. And I've started to pare down this phase 2 or the 2.0 clone as we get newer clones in. And we're going to get more. And we just got the Ahsoka 2-pack. Both of those are 3.0 clones. We have the Battle Droid Clone Trooper 2-pack that's coming. I'm going to get on Tuesday, and that's the 3.0 mold. And then there's the Phase 1 Clone Trooper coming out in the next couple, like next month or so. And that's also the new 3.0 mold. So Hasbro's rapidly replacing all of the clone troopers we've had so far with what I feel is the absolute perfect body. I don't think they could really improve on the 3.0 body. And again, I'm talking about this body right here. If they ever do release this one on this, it's a no-brainer. I'm 100% upgrading to this. But for now, this one's okay. And this Mace can stay, but I don't love it. I'm going to give this pack as a total, I'm going to give it probably a 3 out of 5. It could have been so much better. It's fine. And I feel like there are people out there where this is just their jam. And if this is your jam, I hope you get it and I hope you love it. But for me, it just could have been better. And that's it. That's my review. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought. Do you have these? Are you passing on them? Or have you not been able to get it? Has it been something that's been, hard for you to get? Let me know down in the comments. I love to respond. What clone troopers would you like to see on that new body mold? What other Jedi, what other 2-packs would you like to see after the Gree Yoda 2-pack? Obviously, I'd like any of them. A new Cody with an Obi-Wan, a Phase 1 Rex with an Anakin would be cool. A Bly with Ayla. I'd rebuy Ayla if I had to get a new Bly. Plo Koon with a new Wolf. It's endless. I would get them all. But what's weird is this does just come with a regular troop and not his commander, now that I'm realizing it. So it doesn't make sense for them to come with commanders, but also it doesn't make sense for this to be a troop builder, because if it's not a troop builder, it should be a named clone, because making it a troop builder figure means you'll want to buy multiples of these, and you don't need more than one Mace. So it's just, again, another reason why it's just a weird release. Anyways, again, that's it. Let me know. I'd like to take a moment and thank these people here for supporting me on Patreon. It means a lot to me that these people do that. And again, just like I said before, there are people on here that don't actually support me anymore, but I'm still thanking them because they supported me for so long with me making no videos. I feel like I owe it to them. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting this far. Check out Black Series Cantina, and I'll see you later. Bye.